Hey, Mike, are you looking to have that dream vacation you've always wanted to take with your family?
I am, Dave, but, I'm short on cash.
Well, Mike, if you're short on cash and you're wanting to live that dream, I got something that can help you. Know what it is?
Tell me.
It's SRE Properties.
I've heard of that, Dave. Is that to do with Joey Shaw?
Yeah, it's Joey Shaw, SRE Enterprises. It'll help you. You can get rentals all over southeastern United States, all over the country. Forget VRBO. Go with SRE. It will save you cash, so you have more money to spend on your trip, and then you can live that dream that you've always wanted to do with your family.
Is there a number I can call or a website that I can log into?
Go to Joey Shaw on Facebook.com and check him out. He's got rentals right here in Arkansas, at Cotter, Arkansas, the trout capital of the world.
All right, Dave, I'm going to do that tonight.
Well, welcome back, sports fans. We are getting ready to talk a little more baseball. Again, we did get to mention, thank you again to Shaw Rental Enterprises. We're staying at a Shaw Rental Enterprises place tonight, and nothing but the best when you go to Shaw Rental Enterprises. They're fantastic. But we talked a little bit about baseball in the last segment. We want to talk a little bit about, we talk managers and stuff. We want to talk a little bit about the NLDS right now. We're going to do a breakdown, just a real quick breakdown of each series. Of course, one of the series that we'll first talk about is the Cardinals and the Cubs, currently tied 1 game apiece. They played tonight, and the Cubs came back and won. Of course, when we were doing our picks earlier, I went for the Pirates in the wild card game, so I didn't have the Cubs getting this far, but I did have the Cardinals picked to make it to the National League Championship Series. Mike, how do you think that series is developing right now?
Well, I picked the Pirates and the Dodgers. I think part of it was because I wanted it to be a Dave and Mike, battle for the World Series. Of course, the Pirates never made it there. I think if you're the Cardinals, then you were in a no-win situation as far as your matchup, because the 3 best teams in baseball were all in the National League Central. And so, Pittsburgh loses, great. Now the Cardinals are playing the Cubs with the 3rd best record in baseball and their natural rival. So there's really no telling what's going to happen. I mean, Arrieta cannot win every game. And I know, my wife Emily is a huge Cardinal fan, and I know she's hoping that Arrieta, falters on Monday. Of course, he's shown nothing, that leads us to believe that that's going to happen. But it's going to happen at some point. You don't win every game. You can't give up no runs or 1 run every game. He's going to blow up at some point, and the Cardinals are hoping it's Monday. And so I think that is a really interesting series. The Mets and the Dodgers, I don't know what to make of this series. I don't feel very good about the Dodgers. And then over in the American League, my picks were just totally wrong. So far, I picked Kansas City and I picked Toronto to meet in the ALCS, and both of those teams are down 2-0 to their opponents. The Astros are beating the Royals, and the Rangers, surprisingly, I think even more.
Well, Mike, how about you mentioned the Astros? What about the Houston Astros going into Yankee Stadium, playing the Yankees, who are in the playoffs basically every year, and just pretty much going in there and not just winning, but sending a message. I mean, we're talking about bat flips after home runs. We're talking about just going in and dismantling the New York Yankees. I mean, the Houston Astros, are they this year's Kansas City Royals?
They appear to have that kind of swagger. They do it in a different way. They have some speed, but it's not focused on small ball the same as Kansas City was last year. When we're looking at Houston, you're looking at the long ball. A lot of strikeouts, but a lot of home runs.
Very Steve Balboni-esque from the mid-'80s.
Right,
I can throw something in there. They might not have the highest batting averages, but they did lead the American League in home runs in the second half of the season, but really showing a lot of power. But the American League, of course, I had the Blue Jays and the Royals, and I still think the Royals are really going to be a team to beat. For one, the experience of being there, I really think they're going to be a tough team to beat over in the American League. And then in the National League that we mentioned earlier, I still really think the Cardinals are going to be really hard to beat because the experience factor that they have going deep into the playoffs year after year, where the Cubs, they haven't had that experience. I don't even think a lot of people at the beginning of the year even really thought the Cubs were going to make the playoffs this year. They thought they were still a year or two out. But sometimes maybe the inexperience, like what happened with the Royals last year, makes you be able to just go through the playoffs, Mike.
Yeah, nothing to lose. And so, when we look at the World Series this year, we may have two teams that are facing off in the World Series that just played loose. Nothing to lose. At the same time, I think if you're a Cardinal fan and if you get to the National League Championship Series and if you get to the World Series, you have that advantage that you were just talking about, that the teams that you're going to be playing, no matter who they are, do not have any experience in the postseason to speak of.
Well, Mike, I can tell you it's been some very exciting baseball. Right now, sitting in our Shaw Rental Enterprise freebie that we got this week from having Shaw Rental Enterprises as our sponsor, we're sitting here watching on a 100-inch TV the New York Mets versus the Dodgers tonight, and currently it's 2-1 Mets over the Dodgers right now, but still plenty of time for the Dodgers to come back and win that one. But a lot of really good series, a lot of compelling baseball action going on right now. And by this time next week, when we have next week's show, we're going to have a lot of baseball to talk about next week to see how these play out.
All right, yep. And it'll be really, we'll know a lot more. We're going to be down to 4 teams, so it's really going to be interesting. Can't wait until next week. Of course, when we come back, let's talk some football.
Let's talk some football.